This is an informal interview, and I will interview you as a person who's really inspired by you, who admires you from far. But it's a huge chance even for me to get to know you better. So as you know, the Voice of Afsa newsletter is created the platform for the public to understand more about Afsa, who are the leaders, who are the change makers at Afsa, because we often say we are the largest civil society network in Africa, but not so many people know the leaders in each African countries. So we created this platform just to give a light on the persons they're working about their organization and then the impact they are having nationally. So I'm really, really honored and happy to welcome you, Sena. Just for our audiences, let me have a short introduction of you. Sena Alouka, pioneering youth and climate activist, social entrepreneur, the founder and executive director of Young Volunteers for Environment, JV Togo, one of Africa's largest youth-led environmental movements. Now active in more than, last time I checked, it was around 28 African countries. Sena has spent over 2 decades championing climate justice, empowering young people, and ensuring African voices are heard in global decision-making spaces, specifically at UNFCCC climate negotiations. He also chairs the Climate and Agroecology Working Group of Afsa. He is a strategic advisor for the Global Alliance for Future of Food. He is a global facilitator for CAN International Energy Working Group. And he is also a patron and a mentor for Young Environmental Negotiators Academy. I'm so happy to welcome you, Sena. It's going to be the most interesting, conversation I'll be having with you because you
I hope
came up
so.
with this. I'm really sure because you have this diverse experience, and I have
Yeah,
known you for how many years now? I first met you in 2000, I guess 2012 at a
well,
UNEP meeting.
yep,
I used to work for HC Group then.
exactly.
Net Dano, the
Yes,
Asian
Letano, yes.
director. Yeah, she was the one. She came to me, and you didn't hear. Sena is organizing a young people meeting over there. You should join them. I was like, who is Sena? Then I went there. I saw you talking to everyone, bringing every use on the room, and
Yeah.
start leading. And I was like, oh my god, this is a force of nature, to be honest. So I'm really happy. As my first question, can you take us back to your childhood? I want to know who Sena is, just to give a glimpse of your childhood, your upbringing. Let's start from the early days.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for this. It's a real honor. Honestly, I've not slept 2 days because
Yeah,
I was thinking about my life, who I am, what have I achieved.
yeah.
The last question about legacy. These are questions that I've refused myself to respond or think of. But
Mm.
now I'm in the position to do so. So thanks a lot for this opportunity to do some kind of, flashback
Reflection.
on my own life.
Yeah.
I was born in a community in a small village called Belechiko, Chikoti Siko, in southeastern part of Togo,
Mm.
close to the Ghana border. It was a community without water, without electricity, and life was cool, was amazing there in my village. I like being handsome with my glass. The first thing that I can still remember, I know every Thursday that community of Chico will gather to
Mhm.
work on the chief farm. Every Thursday they go systematically to the farm of the chief of the village. And my mom will put me at the back, while she's working, and my mom was the cheerleader. And
Yeah.
that tradition taught me at a very early age that our survival and dignity depend on working together.
Yeah.
The school shaped me also in a very special ways. I need to acknowledge that one. I
Yeah.
was fascinated by language. My brother studied English, and I remember practicing with small storybooks, like one I can remember very well called Bola's Grandfather Went to Lagos. I was still in class 5, but by the end of primary school, so I could speak some
Those
English.
languages.
So when the
Yeah.
American came to my village, I was class 6. I was, let's say, 11 years old. I was the one to translate for my community. I was class 6, English to French. Only God knows what I said then.
Yeah.
But anyway, that experience gave me some confidence, that I could bridge world and cultures. At the
Yeah.
same time, I was very much involved in church life, serving as altar boy for that in the religion then. And
Yeah.
people in the village used to call me Fadabi, means a little priest, because they all believe I will become one a big priest for them. All African Catholic guys want one of their village guys to become a priest. So,
Yeah.
so that also I learned from that experience, discipline, service, sense of responsibility that I think have never left me over years.
Yeah.
The real turning point, if I remember back to my days,
Yeah.
came in 1999. One night, fire broke out on the mountains, on the
Yeah.
mountain farm near our village.
How old were you then? 99.
1999,
You were very young.
I was very young.
Okay.
99, I should be, let's guess, 74. So I was 22 or 3.
Okay.
I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I finished school very early. I
Okay.
was quite very clever. God gave me that capacity. So we were back during the holidays, sitting as we always do, and the fire broke out on the mountain farms, and we saw the whole community as one man left the village, went to the mountains, tried to stop the fire, quench the fire,
Yeah.
and they came back with burnt cassava and yams in their hands. So that phenomenon seriously, struck me.
Yeah.
So with some friends, we asked ourselves why our green forest, I call it the green bed forest, was
Yeah.
disappearing.
Yeah.
That moment of crisis became the seed of a movement. Out of the ashes of that situation, we created what became Jeunes Volontaires pour l'Environnement. My mother always said, from the darkest spot
Yeah.
comes the sweetest porridge. So I owe
Wow.
much to
That's
my mother,
profound. Yeah.
a strong woman who raised 7 boys almost on her own. By the way, don't tell anybody. My name is Sena. Sena means gift from God. So my mom was expecting a girl. 6, 5, 4, 3. Never a girl did not come. So
Yeah.
she gave me the name Sena, means this is what God has planned for me. I better stop here. So I closed the van. I closed the
The whole thing.
the turbine. Exactly.
You're the
So
last born. Oh my God. I didn't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was very much cherished. So
Yeah.
my mom will sell beans, rice in front of it, and often giving food to women who could not pay. I can remember those events very, very well.
Yeah.
From that mom, her name is Dave, because she also wanted to be young forever. Her name is Veronica, but she wanted to be called Dave, meaning Lady V. I learned from her, solidarity, compassion, and
Yeah.
resilience.
Yeah.
A value that I think have been following me all through my. But anyway, to make it fast, then I left the village at some point after go to Lome, coming back, and guess what? Already in that was 99,
Yeah.
but even before that,
Yeah.
1997, I created the first football club. I gave it to the name of one of the Muzungus who came as a volunteer for international camp. I was still at college. I was at college. I was like 13 years old when I created Ascanobe, Association Nationale de Jeunes Joueurs. So young players from the village. And this guy gave me that time like 100 French francs.
Yeah.
That was sufficient for me to create my first club. I was 12 years old. Then when I was going to university, I like media so much.
Yeah.
I went to speak to someone at Radio Lome.
Yeah.
He gave me some few antennas, something turbine, I don't know how to call it.
Yeah.
And I came back to my village in 1997. Guess what I created? I created the first community radio with just a battery, some small metal that I put on the roof. We call it Radio Akuna Matata because I saw the movie
Okay.
King Lion King. Yes. Yeah. So this is what I did even before that fire incident pushed us to create a movement that finally is known as JV. But anyway, along the way, I was inspired by my teachers,
Yeah.
by the writings
Yeah.
of African fighters, those who fought
Yeah.
for Africa. So
Yeah.
that's me to some extent. If I want to
Yeah.
go back to my early ages, yeah.
It's really, you seem to have a very profound early childhood with your mom. I once heard you saying she used to tell you that lucky people get opportunity, clever people or brave people create opportunity, but change makers make challenges and make it an opportunity. And I was like,
Exactly.
wow, if this is really the mindset that he grew up with, no wonder he's really this passionate, always energetic, always trying to create something. So can you share us some wisdom from your mom, those early days, how they have a significant part on who you are today?
So that day was a cheerleader
Mm.
at church service. She was the
Mm.
one to be the first at the church to clean, call people, and our language, she used to chant, meaning good work, God will bless you for your good deeds. I will always remember those. My mom will be the one cheering people, bringing people, mobilizing community to come and clean the church, because in Africa then church is the main place. That's where God stays.
Yeah.
So she's the one in front. We're going to the farms, the chief farm. She's the one mobilizing people to go. She's the one in the village. She was part of a choir. Oh, Mamma Mia, that choir. There was a choir of old ladies. They taught them in Latin.
Yeah. Latin words. Yeah.
Those women can't understand anything.
But they say,
Laudazivo Salvatore,
yeah.
Laudaduce et Pastore. But
Yeah.
these women were saying something totally different from that,
Yeah.
because they were just saying what they would hear in their ears. By the way,
Yeah.
my mom was there. She was trainer voice, treble voice. She was there. I would always go with her to the choir for their rehearsals. My mom was, as most of the ladies then, she was a single mom. I live in a single mom family.
Family.
So she raised us because she left. She was almost leaving my dad when I was
Yeah.
born. So
Yeah.
I always spent my life with her, following her, because to some extent I am her girl, because the girl she was expecting never came. So
Expecting.
it transformed me. And by the way, so when I was coming, when my mother has me still in her womb, she was
Yeah.
sure this one would be a girl. So she bought all the
All
girl
clothes.
clothes
Yeah. Oh my God.
prepared
Yeah.
for me. And then I came, and the midwife told Dave, he's still a boy. She cried 2 days. She does not even want to see me.
Yeah.
And the girl's clothes that she put, I wear all those girls' clothes for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and we kept that over time. And
Yeah.
for me, she's an amazing. She will learn. She will have not go to school, but she will learn from this village school to learn some few words.
Yeah.
She will take the book. She will take the books, and she's like and she was teaching kids, but she doesn't know how to read. But this is the one teaching kids, because
Wow.
someone had said it, she memorized the whole chapter.
The whole chapter.
Yeah, so
You wouldn't even notice, that she's
no,
not reading.
So the other women in the village will come to David, let me see. And David would take those biblical documents, teach them about Noah, teach them about Jacob, about Abraham, as if she was reading. Mom does not know how to read, but she memorized everything. That kind of transforming all situation into something positive,
Yeah.
transforming pain into purpose, transforming negativity to optimism to light.
Yeah.
I learned it definitely from my mom. She would never
Yeah.
complain. She was
Yeah.
very happy. She would always tell nice things about people.
Yeah.
And she was sure that something better was going to happen. She was absolutely convinced. She has no clue, but she was seriously
What?
convinced.
But
She,
she
she
was
always
certain.
say,
Yeah.
our language, she said, those who are going to live long will witness things. She said that almost every week.
Yeah.
Like, just to say that like a prophet.
A prophecy. Yeah.
I wish she knew that today we can be having this conversation.
Yeah.
I wish she knows that today with artificial intelligence can do everything. She saw those things happening. The change in Africa, the change in politics, new, brighter, amazing things is going to happen. I think we're
Yeah.
just seeing some of my mom's prophecy taking
Yeah.
place.
No, guys, I'm really happy that we really mentioned her here, because these profound early ages are the one that made us. To be honest, these are the ingredients, the nutrients that make a person. And I'm sure she is really happy that it's a boy and it turned out to be this change maker in your
An
own
old man,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I can also see that from your energy. Whoever I ask about you, one thing that they mention about you in common is about your energy. You have that aura, that presence, that energy that can fill the room, that can inspire. Where did you get it? Were you born with it? Is it a gift or?
I wish I knew. I
Mm,
think it was something I got from my mom. My
mm,
family, they are very funny people. They laugh all the time.
yeah,
And at an early age, I was exposed to this family of happy people.
yeah,
So there's no way you skip a day without laughing, without making a joke. Like the
yeah,
craziest joke ever.
Yeah.
If I tell you some of the jokes, you will run away. But for us, it was just normal.
It's a comment. Yeah.
And from my uncles, all of them, very positive people, taking care of others. And the fact that I was staying with my mom, my brothers almost grew up, and my mom was the one selling the rice. So I am, to some extent, the prince of the children.
The children.
So
Yeah.
everybody wanted to be Sena's friend so that they can chop out of my mom's rice. And by the way, when I was in class in the secondary school,
Yeah.
so I was 12 years old, we used to dance for the president. Mr. Mobutu from Zaire,
Zaire.
DRC, crafted this animation, popular dance
Yeah.
for the president. We dance like this,
I know
exactly.
that.
So
Yeah.
I was the chief. I was the main leader. As soon as I reached the college, secondary school, they appointed me as if someone was telling them a guy was coming. So then I was, what is
Yeah.
Togo? Togo is what makes Africa? Africa is, I am the one,
Yeah.
at the front doing that.
Yeah.
All that exposure of early responsibility as a leader always shape my life and my way of doing things. But I think I need to be very grateful to Pachamama, to
Yeah.
Mother Earth. I need to be very grateful to my family, my mom particularly.
Yeah.
I need to be very grateful as well to God Almighty.
Yeah.
I think that these are things that happen on
Yeah.
which I did a little bit to increase that.
Yeah.
But I think I need to owe it to them. And
To the
my association with children, getting always a new energy from children, staying always, all my time. I live with children. I think it's something that
yeah.
has, to some extent, made my energy limitless.
So once you created the organization in 1999 and eventually grew up to Young Volunteers for Environment, has it always been the youth issues your passion? Have you always considered yourself as a youth activist? Where did that came from? Why did you call it Young Volunteer? Because volunteerism was not a concept that we honestly knew when we grew up in Ethiopia. I don't recall myself. Always we associate volunteerism with people from the West coming to Africa, missionaries or church people. It was not really a concept that I easily associate to. It took me a while to understand the significance of it, but to understand that and to make it an organization's name at that time, now it's a huge vision.
Yeah, it's so, like, if you again look into my background, you can fully understand
Yeah,
how the spirit of volunteering, the community spirit, was filled the whole village, all over. You can see it.
yeah,
We owed nothing, but we had everything. So that spirit of togetherness, of serving someone before yourself. Even we have proverb in my village that don't serve the foreigner and forget your own child. Because we tend in my village, in my community, to serve the foreigner, serve people who are in need, and even forget about ourselves, forget about the family.
yeah,
And I think that's, I can't say it's a curse, but it's a positive DNA of people
yeah,
from my place, and I inherited it to some extent. And my mom, that was also serving in the farm of the chief,
yeah,
was also a good. And I think when we started back in 97, 98, 99, I have a very amazing story.
yeah.
So my story is not about volunteer first.
Hmm.
Uh, when that fire broke
Yeah,
in the village,
in the village. Yeah,
so what we created was United Youth Environmental Protection,
protection.
United Youth for Environmental Protection,
Mhm.
UYEP. That was the first organization I created. Like, I did create that one.
Yeah,
And we started doing tree planting. And by the way, I can see I have videos, audios of the 2000 meetings we had. I'm a very good in
and
archives.
yeah,
So that movement that I created, they always say that those who made remarkable things on this planet are people who have faced some kind of rejection, persecution, harassment,
true.
or yeah. So guess what happened, Kirubel? That organization I created in 2002, I went to the capital city to meet the director of forest. He said, "Oh, if you do a youth program there, that would be great. By the way, the forest that's next to you is a protected forest. It's a classified forest. And we can work with you to protect it." I said,
Protect
"Good."
him. Yeah,
So, but if you are only, because I came back from university, I
yeah,
gather around me only the the teens, the young, the children. They
Yeah.
say you can't. So go and create something else. So I went back and I called adults to come and created the adult section of these Youth for Environmental Protection. By the way, the name in French is JUP, Jeunes Unis pour la Protection de l'Environnement. In French, it's skirt. Skirt is what girls put.
Girls. Yeah.
So everywhere I go, they'll call me Mr.
That's
Jup. They'll laugh at me. So, Jeunes Unis pour la Protection de l'Environnement. So, get what happened. To make the story short, one day I got a letter and I was fired from this Jup that I created. Just because one too crazy guy, they was a bit maybe probably jealous,
Yeah.
and they thought probably I will probably change. We just receive a letter, and envelope. They say if you are changing address, put the new one here. It's common, but when they saw that on the envelope, they think, hey, this guy Sena is planning something. So they met and they fired me. Like I was fired from Drip that I created that one.
Wow.
JVE, I created with people, but Drip, I did it myself with my money, everything.
Yeah.
They fire me. So, Kirubel, my story is
Wow.
not that of a fire. It's a story
Yeah.
of rejection. So, honestly, today, the impact I've managed to make, 50,000 young people, the 50 million people who listen to our messages, the 500 young people who got married, the 1,000 babies that I see all over Africa, and the impact we made, I owe it to those young people who fire me. If they have never fired me, I would never have reached to where I am today. This is just to tell people that, again, from pain, you can derive something very positive.
Exactly.
So these people did me the best gift ever by chasing me from my own organization. And I said, man, I'm not going to leave this down. I need to rise again, like African Rising. And I went back to Lomé, met with some people, and then we said, okay, what are we going to create? And then they asked me, that was 2001, 2000, and 2000. I was very reading things happening the beginning of internet. So I knew that 2001 is going to be the year of International Year of Volunteers. So that gave me the ideas, by the way, based on what I've already seen, blah, blah, blah. I proposed, I remember the 10 names that I proposed to the AGM, and on our new AGM in Lomé this time, not in the community, people choose the word young volunteer for the environment for various reasons. We don't have the money. We want to mobilize people. Volunteering is the best way to mobilize the goodwill from people without paying them. And environment is the thing. And we are young people. And we believe we will never grow old, by the way. And I think we were right then. I will never, ever grow old, forever young.
Forever young. Yeah. It's very, very inspiring because voluntarism creates ownership in a sense. I really love the name. It was an amazing name, especially when we think of the days that was created.
Yeah, that is because only concept, that's the only thing you can use to to like mobilize people. It was easier then than today, of course. Once people say they are volunteers, they are very happy. You explain to them, you become a volunteer. We even printed t-shirt, I am a volunteer. That's all that they need to work for you for free for 1 year.
Yeah. So my next question is, when you initially established JVE, was it in your mind that it will grow this big and spread across Africa? How many African countries are now you're working with? 28 African countries. And Sena, it's not really to the young people say glaze you, or it's not a cheap flattery, but for me, everyone I meet in Africa, especially young people, when I ask them how they started, they might be in different places, leading different organizations. They know I started as JV, I was a coordinator in my country. And these stories are really common. Was it in your mind that you'll grow it this big and make it a Pan-African youth-led movement? Yeah.
No. There's a saying that human create institutions and institutions transform humans. I created something that transformed me, that blew me away. As I was getting more exposure, I was reaching higher levels, talking to more people. So, by the way, this idea of going international came from young people themselves. So, Togo, for some reasons, was banned by the international community. They call it lack of the democracy deficit. So between 95 up to 2000 something, there was no cooperation aid coming to Togo. It was in that situation that we started the Young Volunteer for the Environment. It was in that hard time when there was no money coming from outside, and I developed a concept called come again. Basically saying how to build and grow an organization from
From
no money.
scratch, from no money.
I call
Yeah,
it a no money strategy.
no
I
money.
developed a no money strategy. How to build an organization from zero, like seriously, no money. How can you do that? So designed that, and we
Mm,
were doing it. And a few months later, we got money from the UNDP to give us something like $400 back then to organize the first ever gathering of people of the Malay tribe, the Owu people, around environment. We started discussing with young people. We went to Ghana for some camps, to Benin for the World Social Forum. That's how Nigerians saw how we were performing, like you were saying. Say, Oga, how are you doing this? No,
yeah.
no, become the Niger, you the teachers with they do the same now. I say,
Wow.
how so? So they say yes. So we started our first national representation in Nigeria because they saw us in a conference in Ghana, and they say,
Yeah,
this is amazing. If you are managing this organization with no funding from outside in
yeah,
Nigeria, we have a lot of opportunities. Why not? Let's go.
yeah,
And that's how we started first time in Nigeria. And yeah, from Nigeria we went to various countries. And by the way, my first international volunteer came from Nigeria. Then building on the Pan-Africanist movement, because I was strongly shaped, also influenced by those freedom fighters, Amika Cabral, Sylvanus Olympio, Kwame Nkrumah,
yeah,
Shaka Zulu, and all those
yeah.
guys. So I decided to pursue, to attach my my enterprise to
Mm,
the Pan-Africanist movement. So the idea is, once I was in Nigeria, and then we opened an office in Ghana, and the next day we were in Niger, and it started blowing. People say, "Okay, come here, come here." Saying, "I met someone. You can do your thing in his country." Like
it
I
grew
think
like a
nothing can
wildfire.
stop.
Yeah,
Yeah, nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. Once the time has come for an idea, nothing ever can stop it. I think
nothing can ever stop.
when you have good plans
Mm.
and you know where you want to go. I think like my people of my place say that the wind, nature,
Even
everything,
the universe will conspire.
exactly, with you and support you. So that's what I just navigate. I just
Yeah,
fly on positive,
yeah.
favorable winds.
So where is
Seriously.
the environment, the passion for environment came from? I can see the passion for youth issues, organizing young people. But from the beginning, you call it, volunteers for environment. So where did you get that from? Is it from your childhood upbringing, the village, Chico?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the fire. It's the fire in
it's a fire. Yeah,
there's a fire on the mountain,
mm,
and there's nobody. So
yeah,
it's a fire in the mountains. That's how sparkled the idea of dedicating life for environment. Yes,
mm,
absolutely.
yeah,
So we decided to do something to preserve the forest. We went to talk to the elders. What can we do? They show us space. They show us, someone show us how to do tree nurseries.
yeah,
That's how it started, and from that day, it never changed.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
yeah,
is the story of the village is really
the
deeply
beginning.
rooted
Yeah.
in my community. Yeah, that's why it's started from.
Yeah. One of the questions that I was thinking was, for most people, when you speak about environment, we always think of activism, from the activism perspective, prism. But for you, you look at it from a social entrepreneur point of view. It's like there is a challenge and let's find a solution to solve this problem. So it's a solution based and uniquely so for you, you attach it with business. You're not really shying away from creating environmentally aware or environmentally sound businesses for young people so that while working for their business they are really contributing to the environment. It's a unique concept, especially during those days. Now we are really trying to understand how are we making a business sense for agroecology, or how are we attracting young people and make agriculture viable, economically viable for young people. But that time when you started it, to really think of it from this business point of view is something I found it very impactful, to be honest.
Well, in fact, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
In those days, when you mentioned the word environment,
Mm.
what quickly came to mind to someone? When I tell you environment, what comes to your mind today?
Activism,
Okay,
defense,
activism.
protection, conservation.
Yeah. So for the people, exactly. From my people, when you say environment, they think about trees.
Yeah.
So they ask you, how many trees have you planted?
Yeah.
If you are environmentalist, you must plant trees. For them, that's how people would know, because that's what school has taught people.
Yeah.
That's what the modern school has taught people about environment being
It's
something
very true.
about forest, because
Yeah.
the hedonistic mindset of people. I don't want to go into it, but
Yeah.
the whole concept about NGOs, WWF, IUCN, all those guys were just the continuation of colonialism.
Yeah.
The first directors of those big NGOs were the last boss of the colonial empire in Africa.
Yeah.
So they want people to understand that when talking about environment, is about protecting the forest,
Yeah.
that means maintaining intact for them, because they say they have lost it there in Europe, they want to keep it in Africa. That white mindset,
Mm.
that is something that was distilled into the communities. So
Yeah.
when you mention environment, they say trees, and then more and more you tell them, you let them understand that trees have a cost, and you show them how much it costs for a tree from the nursery to grow and to be sustainable, to become a mature tree up to 5 years. If you have let's say you use a cassia siamea or mahogany, for instance,
Mm.
you don't need less than $150 to make one tree survive. That is
Wow.
the village. If you put it in the urban, it's more complicated in terms of protecting, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell them it has a cost, and someone need to pay for it.
Yeah.
Are you ready to pay for it? Either you pay with your time, you pay with your energy, you come, we do it together, or if you don't have, I'll organize the tree, I'll bring it to you, and you pay for it. Because all of them, because everybody in our farm, they were mostly using agroforestry. That was the main thing people know to do.
Yeah.
So that's the first point. And then later on, when young people started coming in, people join things for various reasons. I have in my experience identified 5 reasons why young people join movement or a group, something.
Mm-hmm.
They join a movement because their family is there. So mother, father, uncle, someone. They join movement because their heart, their lovey, their chérie, girlfriend, boyfriend is there. They say, let's go to church, let's go to this. They go.
You'll be
They
dragged.
join movement because they are looking for opportunity. They're looking for job.
Yeah.
If I go, can I get something? Can I get a job? Is there something 2 years they can employ me? They go there. 4, they go there because they want to, they want to travel. They're looking for travel opportunities. I want to go to meetings. So, hey, Mr. Luka. So if I join, can I go? That's what attracts young people. And finally, from childhood, what attracts young people is whenever there's a group attracted, we want to be where young people are. The togetherness, the fun, the dance, the chant, those attract young people.
Yeah.
And then you start understanding that people don't come just for the beauty of the nature. No, they come because they have some reasons. And you, as a leader, you need to provide those
For
things
those reasons.
for that they are to some extent looking for. So they say, okay, we come, we want to get something out of it, and we're doing good for the planet. And then it's on my challenge to say, yes, you are absolutely right. I can teach you how to produce solar cook stoves. I can teach you how to raise a nursery. I can teach you how to make money by becoming an environmental journalist. I can teach you how to sell a solar lamp, do social marketing around solar lamp and get money. I can teach you how to, etc. So progressively, we turn what we are doing into a social enterprise. Up to today, that's why I keep telling young people, my friend, there is a lot of money to be made. There are money are flowering on trees. Come and let's harvest the money on trees. So there's a lot of money to be made here from waste, from everything, from all the environmental. The more we have environmental problem, the more we have solutions and money to be made. Money in terms of resources, in terms of opportunities, in terms of positive impact. Yes. So because that was the only way. Because you want people to volunteer. So if they want to volunteer, they need to get something back.
Yeah.
So it was my job to provide something. And that something was to transform the whole association, humanitarian, free something to something more business, social enterprise oriented.
Yeah. And it's I really like that. It's more focused on bringing solution. Not being part of the problem and speak about the problem, go to meetings, speak about the problem, but what are we coming up with to solve this problem, and what are the solutions?
Yeah, absolutely solutions. And you create a platform, you offer them what they want, you ask them to go and find the solutions. And young people are very fast to find solutions. I kept trying again and again. It's always working. So if you have been listening to me, Kerube, like your question, where it's come from, those are not things that we plan in the beginning. If you are a good leader, at some point, the thing, the enterprise, the business you started should get out of your control. So at some point, I was not controlling it at all. The membership, our partners, villages, communities, all of them shaped, designed,
Yeah.
revisited what we were supposed to be, what we are today.
Yeah, that's a very fascinating story, to be honest. And maybe let's discuss more about JV now. Just give us an overview. We
Mhm.
might find some questions to elaborate, but let's get a picture of what JV is, what's working now, how many countries.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So for us, we just like I said, it's a really unique, amazing story.
Mm,
Coming from a small village without electricity, water, internet, and active today is almost 30 countries.
30 countries.
We
Wow.
launched the last office. By the way, we revive one and we launch a new one.
Mm.
Last week we revived YV Ethiopia. So
Yeah, you've been calling for that for how many?
I we revived the
Yeah.
last way we revived YV in Ethiopia with amazing young people that I've met. And I am a crazy man, stupid for
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I kept calling people. This is like, I think, my 6th or 7th generation. I started, they got the opportunity, they travel, they live.
Yeah.
I gathered them again, they got the
I know
opportunity, they
stories. Yeah.
disappear. This is my 7th generation, and this one will go to be there forever, I'm sure. So,
Yeah.
and before that meeting to revive YV Ethiopia, we have a very amazing board of directors and good staff.
Yeah.
We launched YV in Somaliland. Yes. So we're moving to countries in conflict, So it's the idea is to offer opportunities, what we are doing, to give it to people,
Yeah.
for them to experiment, for them to try it, etc.
Yeah.
But anyway, for me, JV is the fruit of 35 years of learning, of sacrifice and determination,
Yeah.
sometimes of doubt. Yeah, there were moments of despair, of doubt,
Obviously.
but
Yeah.
today, I think I can say I am the 5th happiest man on
On
planet, because
planet.
I have 5 brothers. So I say I'm the 5th happiest man on the planet. So, but our work at JV is organized around 3 pillars:
Yeah.
climate and energy. So
Yeah.
we have been at all the COPs since 20 years now. We mobilize young people, we facilitate their participation in those climate negotiations. We drafted speech for president, for head of negotiators, and we
Yeah.
also work around the modern energy services.
Yeah.
We market solar lamps, solar host systems, as we call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Clean cooking, we are at the beginning, at the front of clean cooking. Yeah, exactly. The second pillar is on natural resource management. Basically, what we do here is about defending our land, defending our rivers, defending our forests, defending the right of our communities. We fight land grab, we fight pesticide, we fight GMOs, we fight herbicide, we fight monocultures, we fight synthetic fertilizers. We fight those I call the Sunday farmers, the weekend farmers. Those
Okay.
our friends who are even Togolese or Ghanaian or Beninese
They
or
go from the
Nigerian,
city.
who have money in the cities. They go, they come and buy all the land. They
Yeah.
employ our parents. They go there weekend, just like they go to sport. So we fight everything that for us is destructive or negative or can jeopardize
Yeah.
the harmony of nature. We have promoted agroecology as the best part for biodiversity, for land restoration, for climate resilience. We were the one at the forefront of various big international events like the UN Decade on ecosystem
Ecosystem
restoration.
restorations. Yeah.
We collaborate with FR100 on afforestation project. We are having a project now with the UN University of Togo of Lome to understand what's the best tree planting strategy and approach, because
Mm.
we just plant trees. We don't know, people don't know that planting trees at times can be negative, destructive to the
Mm.
environment.
Yeah.
So where to plant, how, which we are doing that right now. So
Yeah.
we collaborate with universities to make sure that women, farmers, the elderly, the most vulnerable, all have access to the basic need, access to water, access to land, access to information.
Yeah.
The last pillar is what eco-citizenship and youth empowerment.
Mhm.
So this is about building leadership, activism, and consciousness. And that this pillar, we track public money, we expose corruption, and we demand accountability. We help young people to be like whistleblowers, to denounce injustice and claim their right.
Yeah.
And the idea is to have our organization present in every village, in every community, in every tribe, in every country.
Yeah.
So in Togo, we have at least 50 cities where we have our clubs. So as we start in Ethiopia, we have We have it in in Addis Ababa. We
Mm.
have it in Apsum. We have it in various other cities that they have left me. So
Yeah.
yeah, we have it in various branches in various cities. So the idea is to make of this very unique movement that inspire young people, push them to work. Yeah, so these are the main things we do. But
Yeah.
honestly, there are days in our journey that were unique that people never thought of that will happen. Earth Day 20, we organize a city car free day. For the first time, we block the half of Lome. We build a tent on the streets. We hold a conference on how car pollution is causing havoc to environment and is even destroying the atmosphere. We knew very little about climate change then, but
Mhm.
then we explain how car are part of the problem. We
Yeah.
organized the fair car free day in Togo, shutting down the main street of Lome for the whole day. People still remember that day. They say that you
Yeah.
and honestly, people wish I would become the Togo president. I said no, no, it would never happen.
Yeah, this in one of the things that I like about JV is it's not it's not big organizations or other civil society
No,
organizations creating a youth chapter. This is a youth initiated, youth created, owned by youth, created by youth, and it's growing organically by them, not from
no,
the forces outside or the elderly people. For example, when you go to the GMO issues, they were young activists. Now we see all over Africa who are very cautious and informed about what's coming in terms of GMOs. The users are really organizing themselves in agroecology, food sovereignty movements, biodiversity protection. It's really different. One thing that whenever people start thinking about Sena, came to their mind is your contributions, your struggle, your resilience, your institutional memory on climate negotiations for Africa. As you said, you have been in the climate negotiations for how many years now? You have been almost in
20.
every 20 years. So not I cannot mention a single, African or a handful of African who have really attended every COP, negotiations internationally and bring African voice to that platform. So if and you are leading the Alliance for Food Sovereignty, Afsa's working group, Committee and Agroecology working group in those spaces, and your organizations. You are representing everybody in Africa when you go to this kind of meetings, whether it's an energy issues, biodiversity issue, agriculture issues. And you have been selected as an agriculture negotiator by Togo on the UNFSC. That's a huge, huge recognition to your 2 decades of work. So can you talk to me about COP negotiations and what you have learned and how the benefits, the interests of Africa have grown and being discussed on those kind of platforms from the Pan African point of view?
Yeah, yeah. Three things. First thing that to know is Africa is at the heart of biodiversity conservation
Mm.
and environmental protection. At the heart, at the very beginning, it was Africa, and at the end, it was also going to be Africa. The first ever document that protect the right of people came from Mali in 1235. In 1235, the so-called the Mali, the Sunjata Keita kingdom
Mhm.
declare that everybody in my kingdom has a right. We call it la Charte de Kurukafunga. If you type Kurukafunga or the Charter of Mande, the Mande, Mende,
Mm.
that the Charter of Mande was signed in 1235 to 1236 by Sunjata Keita. Back then, that is the first known written document about people recognizing the right of women, the right of people about peace, conflict management, etc.
It's universal human rights declaration kind of thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Even long before
Long
that, we
before
have
this.
it in Africa.
Yeah.
Long before the world met in Rio, Africa has already. We had our first convention in 1968 in Africa. Rio was in 1992.
Too. Yeah.
So Africa made the Convention of Algiers on protection of forests, protection of marine life, protection of waste management, long, long, long before the world was even thinking about this Club of Paris, that Madame Brown, the world that we want. Then they went to Rio. We were far in advance of that. The African Union Commission for the Right of Women and People
Mm.
is dated 1970. We are Africa. That's our contribution. All going to be there from generation to generation, from the civilization, for science, mathematics, everything started, architecture, everything started from Africa. So in the same climate negotiations or environmental negotiations, we have something to show. We have to show that before they were thinking about it, we were doing it. We were piloting it. We were living it.
Yeah.
We know how to live in the forest. I used to say that after I've seen the word, I say the forest is my farm. The forest is my school. The forest is my playfield. The forest is my church. The forest is my supermarket. So we'll be living that. You can't disturb. You can't
Yeah,
take me out
as
of the
well.
forest. I
Yeah.
am the forest. So going to these negotiations, we have a lot to offer. We don't need to we don't need to understand the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
But just being an African,
Yeah.
that is environmental consciousness present. That's who we are. And everywhere we are, that's why I tell young people, just go. Whether you understand, just go, because your presence is important. Like me, until I was going to school, my mom never bought me a new clothes. I was using the clothes of my, because I'm
Yeah,
the
okay,
last born.
older brothers. Yeah.
We never throw food away. Even the school books, I always use the books of my brothers until I reached the last year before college. Never bought. I was just using the old ones. So, that sense of recycling, of respect to nature is something we have. And that's the first thing. Second thing is why it's important to go to those calls, because the world has become something we wish it would not be, but it is there. We need to live with it. It has become a global village, which is okay, but it comes with injustice. It comes with inequality.
Yeah.
Inequity. It comes with violence. And the only place where humanity wins is at those multilateral platforms. When we go to COP, humanity wins. You can see humanity back, because there every single man is a single man. Of course, you can come. American can have like 500 delegations, but at the end, when the time comes to decide,
That's
a small Togo
Yeah.
can say no, and the whole thing collapse. So you see that respect that everybody has, even though they talk, they play, they know that at the end, consensus need to be reached.
Yes.
We need universalism there.
Yeah.
So that's why I kept telling people we need to go there, and we can't expect much miracle. If you ask 200 people to find you, if you're a man, you ask 200 people to find you a woman. My friend, you will die single. You will die a bachelor. They will never get you a wife. Now we are 100 something, 96 countries, some even 200 in some spaces, negotiating 1,000 various tracks. So you can't expect miracle to happen. Just the fact that people meet and talk and converse and dialogue. For me, it's something. It's like a temple of humanity. That's COP is for me. Of course, today I regret how it has become a marketplace, how it has become a business. People go to COP, they don't even care about the negotiations. They just go to expose, to learn, get new partners, etc., which is okay. I think that DNA of the COPs around all the multilateral environmental agreements,
Still
we
exists.
have about 500 multilateral agreements. So whenever the COPs meet, like the INC last time in Geneva on the plastic pollutions, for me, that's why I keep going, and there are some good things that we are getting out of it. And I was happy over the years because we were accredited by almost all UN agencies. We were accredited by ECOSOC in 2013. We're accredited by UNFCCC. We're accredited by UNCCD, accredited by UNCBD, accredited by WTO, accredited by UNEP. So every meeting of UN all over the world can send young people all over the world. So that helped us over the years to facilitate participation of young people to all the COP. There's no country, there's no young people who is today around the age of 30 to 40 that in the past has not benefited from JVA accreditation. We have helped them, facilitated. Sometimes I have to go out, register them, take them back inside, because it was less complicated back then, today. So we did that, and we helped to create things. I'm happy in the climate negotiation. We just don't go and come back empty. No.
Yeah.
I am a father of Yungo. Yungo is that a big blah blah blah. Sena Alouka is part of those who created Yungo. I when I was there at COP11 in Montreal in 2005, I was like lost, the only francophone, all African. When we organized the first conference of youth, that was in Montreal, 2005. I said, no, this can't continue like this. I need to bring more African to this space. That's what pushed me to create the African Youth Initiative on Climate Change, AYIC, that I launched in Nairobi in 2012 at COP13. So, and AYIC has become like a platform for youth organizations to express, to learn, and participate. And at COP15 in Copenhagen, I brought 70 young people there. So these are some of the things that we bring back from going to those conferences. And
Yeah.
today we are happy. We have a fund for loss and damage. We have a fund for environment. We have a fund for the climate. We have a fund for adaptation. We have a
Yeah.
fund for least developed countries. All those things are something we are bringing back. And consciousness has raised a lot today.
Yeah.
And even though we can punish them, but at least everybody know what's happening. And for me,
Yeah.
that's why I'll be attending all the COPs and bringing, making our voice heard. And for me, from a village, to be asked to write the speech of a president, that's a great honor. For me to come and train young people, train even organizations like Afsa, to take them from zero, bring them to the climate space, and to take the biggest portfolio of Afsa come from the climate. So I'm a happy man. And I
Yeah.
don't go again. Like the whole year I've not traveled. But I said my people, I said the young people, because today they are very sufficiently equipped to
Yeah.
continue the work that we have started.
Yeah, it's really amazing. You have been active in energy. Okay, I've heard you talk about energy and climate change. Agriculture and climate change, culture and climate change, adaptation and mitigation and climate change. So those are the issues that you are working with in your country as JV, and those are the issues that are more critical for you. Before we jump into AFSA and agroecology
Yes,
issues, can you touch upon the energy and other parts
yes,
of climate?
we need to do what we call evidence-based advocacy.
Hmm.
Young people say, I need accreditation, I want to go to COP. I ask them, what have you done in your community? What can you show to me? So before you can go to COP, you need to have a base, you need to have some roots,
Yeah.
so that when you speak in those spaces, you can speak, from what you have done, from your experience, from the people. Because as you are, when the mind is building words, is
Yeah.
building words based on experience, and every word I utter in those spaces, it's an image of something that I can see in my mind. So that's why it's important for us to bring together the nexus, but also the holistic part of things. Our society live from a holistic dimension.
Hmm.
We don't know water, we don't know energy, we don't know education. They're all part
It's
of
the same.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all part of a concept that our people, our communities respect very much, to some extent even worship. That holistic power in the world that we have lost at some point. We have lost the connection. So for me,
Yeah.
I was like sent on a mission to restore that lost connection, that to bring the young people back to their root, to make the communities realize that the life we were having yesterday, even without phone, even without iPhone, even without internet or WhatsApp, was far better than the type of life we have today. That
Yeah.
the beauty of things is still the past. And as they say in my village, if you forget something and you go back to look for it, you should not be ashamed for that. There's no shame to going back and get something you forgot. We have forgotten something on the way. We need to go back for it. We need to accept that we have
Yeah.
lost something. So
Yeah.
that connection is what are working around, bringing about the nexus on food sovereignty, energy, and water. Very important that nexus first, because it's at the backbone of our communities.
Yeah.
Particularly from me, coming from a community where there was no sanitation infrastructure. There was, by the way, once asked one woman from my village,
Mm.
"What's your dream?" And she said, "My biggest dream is to marry a man who has a toilet at home." Finish.
Mm.
So, so,
Yeah.
so, so, so coming from that
Background. Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
you need to find ways to address,
Yeah.
because sanitation is not about going to toilet; it's about dignity,
Mm.
it's about power.
Yeah. It's true.
So we try to connect the dots,
Mm.
because when you go to farm, you don't go to just plant trees. When I say I'm going to farm, I'm going to my farm, what I in fact I try to say is I'm going to continue a practice that my parents, my ancestors left for me. I'm going to perpetuate a practice. So farming is a culture. It's a cultural thing from in my community. So you just don't go to farm. You just don't go to farm and just start cutting trees. No, you communicate with the farm. You
Yeah.
listen to the herbs. You listen to trees. You listen to rivers. And before you cross the river, you know that you need to remove your shoes. You can never put your
Cross
shoe across the
issues.
never, not
Yeah.
possible. No.
Yeah.
And if you are farming in my place, you need to live 8 meters between the river and your farm. You must never get closer to the. In past, they didn't use meter then, but you
Yeah.
need to see that you need to leave sufficient space. You know,
Yeah.
Those things protect our rivers. Those biocultural diversity protected our identity. And everything is gone. So we are trying to bit by bit to restore that dignity, to restore that connection with nature, with Pachamama that we have, to some extent forgot. I think you know that I was seriously influenced by what I saw in Addis Ababa, in Ethiopia. My best mentor ever will be Professor Tewolde Egeziabe and Sue Edward. Those two gentlemen and women transformed completely my life. 1 year after I met Professor Tewolde, I became expert on biosafety in Togo. Just 1 year, I became. After we had the Awasa workshop in 2003, he explained. He took me to the side because I don't know. He saw something in me. So he always come and say, "Nah, come here." And I always sit next to him, and he will be. I became expert 2004.
Yeah.
People start calling me Dr. Sena. They have no idea that I'm almost
Yeah, you got it from another doctor.
Yes, exactly. So we bring that thing, and cooking is another one because cooking is all about dignity.
Yeah.
Cooking kills in Ethiopia more than HIV and malaria put together. Just cooking, it's the same in all. I use the
African
word
country.
Ethiopia because it's the same all over. In Togo, cooking kills 2,500 people a year. Malaria and HIV kill 1,800. So just the air pollution kills more than malaria and HIV. But you have big program for tuberculosis, big program for malaria, huge program for HIV, no program for
No
clean
program.
cooking.
Yeah, no, for
For clean cooking because
to
it's a
improve.
woman thing, is there. So our work is to restore bit by bit that dignity.
Yeah.
By using innovative, disruptive approaches.
Yeah.
To bring Africa back on track again.
Okay. So thank you, Sena. The other, I really want to focus on the food sovereignty movement, social movements globally and in Africa. And you are the chair of the Climate Change and Agroecology Working Group in Africa. You have been an amazing chair for how many years? So can you tell me about the progress, even from Afsa point of view, from the point of view of agroecology and food sovereignty? How are we progressing towards making agroecology a viable solution for climate action in Africa? Did you see any progress from African leaders, in terms of their awareness, their understanding about agroecology issues, and try to make sure the transition towards agroecology be a reality in Africa?
Yeah, a lot is happening. It's you just need to turn your camera. You can see beautiful, great things happen. And like I said, my story was a story that has been shaped by those great builders like Wangari Maathai, like Professor Egeziabe, like all of those Kebede who transformed Africa, who fought for our right,
Yeah.
and who to some extent position Africa at the center of environmental justice, environmental negotiations. And today there are a new generation that continue the fight with different approaches, but I can see a lot of great things happening. So my story started in 2002.
Yeah.
During the World Summit of Sustainable Development in Johannesburg in August 2002.
Yeah.
I was the focal person on agriculture for the Youth Caucus. So I was the agriculture person for the Youth Caucus at the World Summit of Sustainable Development.
Yeah.
And in my speech, I was very direct against fertilizers, fertilizer, chemicals, blah, blah, blah. And I got a lot of attacks. That's where Million Bele spotted me.
Yeah.
He came to me and said, Sena, I'm organizing something. Let's go. To make it short, then I was in Ethiopia next, and I met those amazing people. We eventually created ABN, the African Biodiversity Network, working on various things, various issues. And Fasil, Jonas, Million were all working for ISD. ISD was hosting ABN. And at some point, we realized there was something that was missing. Food was not that much highlighted in our work. We were too much concentrating on indigenous knowledge, earth jurisprudence, youth in cultural biodiversity, like the Senyi program.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So we decided to do something about food. They managed to get funding. They went to South Africa. Afsa was born. So when time was coming, Afsa was having an event in Accra. I said, they say, Sena, we know you also have a movement, so come and join. And from what I've seen from that moment, 2010, when we joined Afsa up to today, I think it is a story of even a miracle. A miracle. Never before has a network. Here we are talking about network. JVE, we are not a network. We are even not a movement. We are just one single organization. Afsa is a network of networks. So never before a network has managed to really grasp the holistic aspect of the thematic it's working around. So it started with agroecology working group. Then they put a citizen group for environmental education.
Yeah.
Then they added the land working group to fight land grab.
Yeah.
Then they add the seed working group as well. That's where I joined. They had 4 then. I said, oh, my friend, no, you need to do more. And in 2017, I said, you need to add the climate change working group. I fought for, they
When
said,
was
no.
that? In 2017?
17, yes. You need to create a working. They said, okay, fine. Then we add that in 2018 at the AGM in Addis Ababa. We were in Nairobi then, but then Addis organized like a real scenario to bring young people, prepare them to all of them talk about climate. That's how it was acted. And later on, I said, no, you need to something else. You need to add the youth working group. And that led to the 1,000 Youth Summit. That led to the youth participating in all events going all over Africa now. And today we have, Afsa has managed to grasp the full width of everything that has to do with food systems, the whole value chain, from the seed to the land, to the workforce, to the planting, the seasons, to the harvesting, to the transport, transformation, selling, where territorial market, by who? We look at the finance. You see, so Afsa has looked at the whole layer, the whole scope of a food system. Now, I think that's what is amazing, and it was done in a very scientific way. Everything was studied, and there was consultation before Afsa moved. And today, there's no way you talk about agriculture, food system, agriculture, energy, or something without having an Afsa member there. And I think I can see a lot of transformation. The best is when you have municipalities decide to learn from the other countries, from the south, from India, the Andhra Pradesh community. That was the first to put about 6 millions of farmers into agriculture. And today you have the Mwanga country, you have the Vihinga country, you have another third country lately, you have another community, county, you have another community, Jobel, in Senegal. And in Togo, we are supporting 9 municipalities to transition to agroecology. There's a similar process ongoing in Benin, in various West Africa countries. Uganda has just started its transition.
Yeah.
Today, Togo, my country, thanks to our advocacy work, Togo is the first country to ban glyphosate in the whole world. The first country to ban glyphosate. And Togo is the first exporter of organic product to EU. First exporter of organic product to EU. We export soy, pineapples, cashew nuts, and some flowers to EU. The first one. Okay, and we have a full national agroecology and organic agricultural development strategy. And so if you see here and there, you see the very Afsa movement working, but not only Afsa, but you look around Afsa, all the feminist movement, the peasant movement, the youth movement, all talking about food sovereignty. Yesterday, when you talk about sovereignty, food sovereignty, they will take you for a fool. They'll take you for an activist. But today, France changed the name of his ministry to become Ministry of Food Sovereignty, not agriculture, because they understood that it's not about food security. It's about who produce, how it's controlled, how it's sold, where the money goes. That's why we're calling for food sovereignty before. They're just saying food security. So this is something that more and more people are trying to understand. And I think we are at the right place. And it's not going to be easy, years to come, but I think if we mobilize the people, change is here. Change is not tomorrow. Change is here. I can say it.
It doesn't mean that we don't have a challenge. Still, there needs to be a lot of advocacy work, especially with our governments, because they are the push is coming to them from the corporations. They have that industrial agriculture narrative. That's how we grow up. Africa is poor. Africa cannot feed itself. The only solution is GMO or high-tech technologies to transform our agriculture. Leaders, or when you negotiate as a Togo on agricultural space in climate change issues, what are the most important things that you want to tell them about agroecology? Why should Africa transition towards agroecology? Why food sovereignty and agroecology in Africa?
Well, agroecology is not something that we learn from in the books. It's not something that Afsa brought. It's not something that FAO conceptualize or design. No. This is how we used to live in Africa. This is how we are going to use. They can bring 1 million tons of fertilizers. Africa will never leave its agroecology. That one is for sure. Even if they give free
Yeah.
Africans will never. You go to the community, you can see it. If you go
Mhm.
to, we just started some, what do you call it, farms, school farms,
School
like
farms, yeah.
we have some school farms, and you see them. They say no, no, they don't want. You don't need. They say you don't need to waste your time trying to sensitize us. Go talk to those people at the coast. You know. So agroecology is seriously the backbone of Africa's sustainable future,
Mm.
because I have seen firsthand from my village in Kwelichiko, where we relied on mountains, rivers, and forests for
Yeah.
survival. To witnessing those ecosystems being degraded. As
Yeah.
a child, I watched how our green belt disappear, rivers dry up, and biodiversity vanish. And agroecology restore ecosystems, safeguard our food sovereignty. It ensure resilient livelihood. It empower communities, girls, women, vulnerable, everybody. You
Yeah.
know, and the best thing for me, and people need to know that agroecology reconnects to us, to our land, to our tradition, and to our cultural biodiversity. Like I gave the example of glyphosate now. That is
Yeah.
great to see that, to do, even though it's not respected 100%.
Mm.
At least I'm sure we have spared the life of at least 100, 200 children who otherwise would have died from it. If you see the agroecology, the territorial-based agroecology transition that we are doing in the Grand Plateau, covering 4 districts and 9 municipalities. We are transforming the food system there in Togo. It's something you can see. Come, I will show you. Come,
Yeah.
I'll take you to Kenya. Come, I'll take you to Senegal, to Andhra Pradesh to see. So basically, what I want people to understand is that agroecology is more than farming. You know,
Mm.
it's a movement for environmental justice, for
Mm.
cultural preservation, and
Mm.
economic empowerment.
Yeah.
For Africa, anyway, it's a key to feed our communities now and tomorrow,
Yeah.
to restore our nature and create a thriving and sustainable future.
Yeah.
So these are the message I want people to know. My hope is that this effort in Togo and beyond will
Yeah.
inspire thousands of families to embrace this transformative path. Anyway, who is feeding the world today is not
Mm.
those caterpillars, it is the small scale farmers. Those women with just 1 acre, 2 acres of land,
Yeah.
those are the ones who are feeding the world today. That's why this week we celebrate in Togo the first day of family farming. So, because family farmers, small fisher folks, are those who are feeding the world today. They always ask, can agroecology feed the world 2050? I respond, it has been the only one that has been feeding
Been
us.
feeding us
It
for
will be
generations.
the
Yeah. That's our survival. As
thing.
African, we survived through our own ancestral knowledge of farming. This is the continent that started agriculture, and we have been doing agriculture for millennia. So we didn't do it with GMOs
Of
and
course, yes, not.
yeah. So one thing so exciting for us is how we, even in Afsa, is how we are bringing more use to the movement. Like you mentioned, we created a use working group last AGM. The AGM has decided to start a new working group in Afsa, use working group. I said in the beginning, I've always known you as a young youth activist, but when we called for the 1,000 Youth Summit in Addis, when I see you took over the stage and you were the facilitator, the way you instantly did with African youth from all over Africa. How many African countries were there? Like 50,
Around 35,
40,
35.
35? Yeah.
Yeah.
35 African countries. Young people came together in Addis and you instantly connect with them like no other I've never seen this kind of connection because you're not speaking their language, their mother tongue or anything. We come from diverse background, countries, realities, but when they came there in that one room and when you facilitate, I sort of saw an amazing vibe, an amazing energy, excitement towards building a youth-led for sovereignty movement in Africa, and that was the most amazing thing to experience. And what was the hope for you? What was the message for the young people, for young generations to join the agroecology movement in Africa and to work towards food sovereignty, not only as an activist, but be part of the solution, make something out of it, make a living out of it, like you said. Can you part us some of the message that you've been delivering on that amazing space?
Yeah. Eleanor Roosevelt said, those who believe in the beauty of their dreams will never grow old.
Mm,
And I was born young and I will stay young, forever young. And I've seen how that passion as a young people has put me in places I would never thought of before. People think I was born in a big city with a good family, rich parents, something. No, not at all. My early ages were full of challenges.
Yeah.
At time I have no shoe to go to school. I literally stole shoes to go to school, come back early, leave the shoe in the room for the guy before he come
Yeah.
back from school. I did that severally. But all those train you, it shape your mindset. It gives you a new identity of a warrior, of a winner. And to the youth of Africa, I want to say you are the heartbeat of our continuous future. Your energy, the creativity, the determination, that's what will transform African food system and environment and society.
Yeah.
Young people today have the power to protect our seeds, our rivers, our forests, our biodiversity, and to ensure that agroecology becomes the foundation of a sustainable Africa. So young people tell them if you read our constitution, it says, you don't wait for the future like a train, you must make it. So every young people should stand up and make the future. They are not the next generation, they are the today's leaders today. They are the leaders, they are the ones who are transforming this continent. Of course,
Yeah.
don't oftentimes have the space, but I want to tell them you have an amazing power. This
Mm.
small boy you see here, I blocked the Togo energy policy thing. I said this law will not pass. How do you want to write a law for Togo after you have ratified all those conventions and you want to promote coal and nuclear? I said no. I organized my people. We organized a network. We wrote to ministers. We did an alternative study to the draft and said this will not pass. We send a copy of our document to embassies. Up to today, Togo has no energy policy. It does not make me so proud that we don't have. They have some energy guidelines that they are using. They have energy directive that they are using, but not energy policy. I'm not that proud, but at least it can show that, like they say in Africa,
Yeah.
if you think you can't do it, try to sleep with one mosquito.
Yeah.
So yes, small boys, like Margaret said,
Yeah.
only small people, only small group of communities of people made the greatest change in this on this planet.
Yeah.
So that's the power I have. That's the power young people have. That's why when you come to our office, we don't care what you have studied. What do you know? What can you do? We had our JV for like 15 years, run by the accountant, did history. The program officer was a secretary. We do. It's all about passion. If you have the passion, if you love what you are doing, in fact, it's only been a job for you.
Yeah.
And that energy comes directly. So the young people, I know the challenges are there. I know we are sitting on a time bomb.
Yeah.
If we don't create 1 million jobs by 2050, that one I know. It will be hard to have on our back 5 million of young people underemployed, who are angry, who are lost and confused. We can't survive. We can't cope with that Africa. So we know that. But for those we see, I have the chance to meet. I always tell them, you are the solution. Like Mandela said, they thought it was impossible, so they did it. So basically, it's all about having the passion, having how you can do it. That's why I keep working with young people, because at least you have the chance to work on almost 2 generations. By the time they grow old, they'll have something and be also able to pass it over.
Yeah.
And for me, working with children, working with young people, Kirubel is my letter to future generations. Children, all the young people I've trained are the letter I'm sending to future generations. I want one day when they read that letter, that they can remember, there was this guy who was there. He was talking to Kirubel on the media. They did their part.
Yeah.
Yes, we did our part. So basically, that's it. And young people, for me, they are the today, not the future. They are the today, not the future. Africa is rising. Africa is going to come back again. Yeah, Imhotep, Hotep will come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. It's a very inspiring message for the young who are really already taking over. Yeah.
We are in an area of abundance.
Mm-hmm.
When when you were going to school, we're not in the area of abundance. Things were scarce. Today you have everything in abundance.
Yeah.
If you want, money is plenty out there. Knowledge is plenty out there. People are many in the communities now. Plenty of cars, plenty of computers, plenty of motorbike. We're in the area of abundance. We have 500 multilateral environmental agreements, and all of them, each one of them has a space for youth involvement, for youth participation. So you can't say, when we started, we could complain. We could say, they will not invite me. I remember in 2002 or 3, I will go to all, once the meeting is planned,
Yeah.
I write the letter. I call the director. I say, I want to come on my own because they said they'll not pay me. I say, fine. And I remember each time I go like that, the director is a now a good friend. He said, last announce those who come on their own, please don't queue there for the per diem. I knew he was talking, he was talking to me.
Yeah.
Because mine is just to go and learn.
Yeah.
We are not having we have one workshop a year. Today you have workshop every day. You have flights going every day. You have knowledge. Now
Yeah.
we are reaching the age of artificial intelligence. Amazing, limitless.
Yeah.
I'm learning the four pillars of this artificial intelligence. It's a wow.
Yeah.
So young people, you can't say you have been excluded. No. You can't say they have not invited you. No, it's finished. That is our generation. Today it's up to you. In my time, I didn't take the chair from my home to go to the conference because they will not give me a chair. Today there are free seats there. Just go. Find your way and go. So
Yeah.
there's no need to play, no need to
Yeah.
complain.
No
You
need.
have no chance to mourn or cry.
Yeah, and you have been a mentor for this new initiative, Young Environmental Negotiators Academy. That might be a kind of platform that you can transfer your knowledge to young people on specifically on how do we create more, negotiators, African young negotiators who can speak to the environment, our food systems, to all the things that we care and value. You and among very handful of people can do that. And if there is anyone who can connect with the youth, it's really you. Like you said, you are forever young, got hurt. Maybe my last question probably would be just try to reflect on your journey, what you have come through, okay, all these 2 decades old activism, dedication to the cause, conviction must have taught you something. So, what would your legacy be, and what would be your final message to the young people or to Africans, to the global citizen, because you're not only a Pan African, but you're an international person now. That's how I consider you. That's how you consider yourself.
Yeah. That's very. You are very right.
Mm,
When I think of legacy,
mm,
I don't think about myself, but more about the people that I have had the unique, amazing privilege to touch, to empower, to inspire. My life has always been about investing in others,
mm,
whether it's young people, communities, farmers, or children. I want to be remembered as someone who lived a very full life, who gave freely, who built platform, create bridge, open windows that continue to nurture the next generation of African leaders. I want people to, let's say, remember that I dedicated my life creating opportunities to young people
yeah.
to dream bigger, to act boldly and shape the future of our continent. Through initiative like JV, my radio TV program, Afsa, ABN, my work with the Global Alliance for the Future of Food, the support I'm providing to ICON, the innovative cooperative for optimal nutrition, my free service I'm providing to the Global Alliance for the Future of Food, and the 1,000 young people, children that call me today a papa. I think
Mm,
that's all about.
yeah.
That's what I've done. I think I've planted seeds,
Yeah, you did.
literally, figuratively, that I think will continue to grow long after I'm gone. My father used to say that uh, he said that the most genuine act of a man is to plant a tree that he's sure he's not going to eat the fruit. If you are sure you will die before this tree become to give fruit, but still you plant it, that's the purest act. So I think, yes, I want that the fruit of my work, when time will be there to harvest, I'm sure I'm not going to be there. I don't even want to be there. That's when people will see the richness, the goodness of the work we try to do.
Yeah.
The ultimate legacy, by the way, is to sing people thrive. The
Mm,
children who call me papa. I decided not to have a family on my own, to adopt children, and I was happy to have a very blessed family with several. I have kids all over Africa
yeah.
that I have adopted, and they call
Yeah.
me papa.
Yeah.
The young leaders today that are stepping on the stage. You see now we organized the African Youth Climate Assembly, and I told them, you guys, I call their names. You have the power. I don't need to be there. I'm not going to even the African Climate Summit. I say you have the floor now. In
Mm.
the past, we were fighting to have space. Today, the
Yeah. You
Ethiopian
have.
government creates space.
Yeah.
70 clusters. You just go. They say this is a space. You can't have everything straight, of course. But what we are seeing now is it convinces me that we are the area of era of abundance. There is space, there are seats, 70 clusters, non-inclusivity take something. What is that? We never thought it would happen one day.
Yeah.
You see? So things are happening, things are changing. And I hope that my work will continue to inspire others to continue building the better Africa, rooted in dignity, resilience, and innovation. I may not live forever, but the structures, the people, the movement that I have helped shape will continue to grow, to influence, and transform Africa for generations to come.
Yeah.
And if you want to write something on my tomb one day, just write, this guy lived fully, happily. He strongly believed he could transform and change the world, and he did it.
Of course. You did it, Sena. When we, at the start of our conversation, you said, I created an organization, an institution, and that institution transformed my life. That's the noblest thing that I heard today. It is very, very true. You have many, many witnesses all over Africa that you have planted the seed. The seed is really bearing a fruit, not only bearing the fruit, but we are really benefiting from the fruit that you have planted. And that has been proven. We don't have that culture of really thanking and praising people while they are with us, while they are working, while still young, energetic. We wait until they are old. I don't know, for some reason.
Or sometimes they died. when
Even
then they
worse
read
when
a
they
very
die.
long test.
Yeah.
Yes, we all
Yeah,
do
but
that. Yeah.
you have to take your flowers, because it's not really easy. It looks easy, partly because you are so humble not to talk about it as big as it is. You always try to water it down, not to make it a big fuss or anything. But for those of us who have been following you and who have witnessed you, what you have created is an amazing work force in Africa, inspiring the youth wherever they are, creating institutions by themselves, making it big, and really supporting themselves and advocating for African issues that we value most. So I thank you for that as a person, and as Afsa, we have always so profound gratitude and respect for you. Thank you so much.
Sam Sitinalo, God bless you. God bless Africa. And I would like to take up this opportunity to thank all those young people who blessed me over years.
Mm.
Because me, I was just like the journalist that you see on TV. You don't see all those guys, all the thousand working in the shadow. So I want to thank all those young people in the shadow who made what I am as well. They got something, but they made me fully. I'm all forever grateful to them, grateful to the communities, to the few partners we have, to my family, to humanity, to Pachamama, and to God Jehovah. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sena. Thank you so much.